I now call the meeting of the Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District Board of Trustees to order. The time is 5:01. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and a quorum is present. Any public comment on session items? There is none. So we will move forward into our board meeting closed session. Good evening and welcome to the Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District Board meeting. We now reconvene and open our session for the regular meeting, and our time is 6 o'clock, and we want to note that this meeting is being recorded and a quorum is present. We will now stand and be led by Jet Williams for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Reporting any action out of closed session. I do want to say one thing that we did prior to closed session, and it was wonderful. We're viewing the different campuses, and we had the privilege of going down to our Pauma Valley campus, and it was wonderful. I'm going to tell you, if you haven't, it's charming. It has just, it's the oldest campus we have, right?
Yes.
And it is just wonderful, and they do a beautiful job at keeping the integrity of that campus, and it's just beautiful and very well taken care of. So we enjoyed our time with you. Thank you. Okay, and we will move to the approving the agenda, additions, deletions, and corrections.
I'll make
Do
a
I have
motion.
Okay, a motion made by Member Benjamin. Is there a second?
I'll second.
A second, and is there any discussion? Being none, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Sr.?
Aye.
Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye. At this time, we will move into our recognition of our programs and presentation, and it is exciting. Our most exciting time of the night is right now, and Superintendent McCowan will begin with this portion of the agenda by acknowledging Crystal Reinick, and yes, and she was recently awarded the 2025 California Poetry Out Loud Hero Award. Yes. Superintendent McCowan.
Yes,
Take it over.
and it is a complete coincidence that we're recognizing this wonderful English teacher today on the same day that we're recognizing her husband's school and their employees.
Coincidence.
Yes. She just received, and what Crystal does on our campus is, well, I can't sum it up tonight, but one of the huge things she does is she puts on our speech contest every year, and this has been going on for 15 years maybe now? 17 years, and she just got the Hero Award this year, but she's much more than just a hero for our speech contests that we do. When you see Crystal on campus, and the interesting thing, and my story with Crystal begins when she was teaching at the middle school, and we were going through a budget crisis at the time, and they wanted to transfer to the high school, and I get a call from the superintendent, hey, you got to give this teacher a tour. She's really kind of iffy on she wants to go to the high school because the kids are bigger. And so I took her here, and we did this great tour, and somehow convinced her to come, and then after about a month and a half here, she said she would never go anywhere else. And she has just been incredible for us, and she's just such a dynamo. When she's in the classroom, she is so not just energetic, but she just expresses everything, and the kids really pick up on that. If she's teaching something about poetry, or she's teaching, she just oozes it. And so, and not only with that though, but she's also ran several clubs on our campuses, and so she mostly teaches our AP students, but all of our students react very well with Mrs. Reinick. When it comes to the speech contest, we will get some of her AP students in the speech contest, but we get students from all walks of our campus, and usually there's 40 to 50 students that start. And if you go watch the first competition, and then we pick 2 winners from them, and they go on to the next round, and this year one of our students went all the way to Sacramento. The difference once they start getting coached by Crystal Reinick and how they deliver their speech, or actually their poem, is unbelievable. She even gets them to get that animation that she has. And so, and I think the other day I gave a teacher, a math teacher, a compliment because I called her the Crystal Reinick of the math department because she had that same energy and go-get type attitude as Crystal has. So, Crystal, it has been a privilege to work with you for, gosh, it's probably been a good 20 years now at this site. And just, I don't know, we've been through a lot of things on campuses, and you've just always been there with a smile and always willing to help. And we just really appreciate it. And you're our hero also. And
so much.
with that, I want to give you one of our coins.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I've wanted one of these. Thanks. Oh yes. All right. So, The Arrow and the Song by I think I actually have that one memorized because it's popular. Let's just put it that way. I just want to say a couple of things about Poetry Out Loud. It is our 17th, I thought it was our 16th year, but it's our 17th year of doing it this year. And I just recently found out that Poetry Out Loud has only been around for 20 years. So we were kind of in on the ground level with that. And since that time, we've averaged about 30 to 35 students getting up on stage to recite poetry in front of other teenagers, which is, a Herculean task in and of itself. Last year, though, we had a record of about 72 students sign up to get up on that stage, which actually ended up being a problem. So, we had to adjust our extra credit policy after that. It's not just extra credit that gets them up there. But I do want to say that it is a whole school endeavor. When I started it, it was really first the English department. I have to, give all credit to that English department because they adopted the Poetry Out Loud program, which is a national program, into their curriculum. And we're actually having students choose poems from Poetry Out Loud to recite in class for a grade. And so our English teachers were teaching the nuances of understanding poetry, of reciting poetry too, even before they got to the big stage for our school competition. So it really did start with the English department. And then I want to give a lot of credit to the whole rest of the school too, because as we really tightened up our program, we made it so that the school presentation or competition would be in the Maxine. And we invited, any classes that wanted to come each period to come fill up the Maxine. And it became so popular that every class period where those kids are participating, it's a full house in the Maxine, which is such an amazing and empowering experience too, to be performing in front of the school. And I know I have to make this really quick. So I know there's a lot of things that I'm proud about with the program, but two things stand out more than anything else. One is our audience. The fact that we're filling up that Maxine Theater for poetry is amazing, but it's the way the audience responds to the participants, to the contestants. I mean, think about it. These are teenagers watching other teenagers recite poetry on a stage. And I don't know about, the other adults in the room, but if that happened at my school, let's just say it wouldn't have been as supportive as it is here. Everything that happens on that stage, our students are clapping and encouraging and cheering. And even if students stumble over words or forget a line, it's those students that our audience is clapping for the most. And when that student comes up the second time and redeems themselves, it is a thunderous applause from these students. And we've even heard from our judges that when they go to other schools, they don't see, that kind of interaction between a campus culture that's that encouraging and positive, no matter what's going on that stage. So the audience and just the campus culture, and of course, I've got everyone to thank for that, from admin to teachers to our amazing support staff to our parents to our community. And we've started live streaming it too, to spread it out to other schools and the community. And then finally, and I've said this so many times, I know a lot of you have this memorized like I do, the second thing that I'm most proud of is that on that stage, whether it's 30 kids or 70 kids, it is always a perfect cross-section of the campus makeup. campus culture. We've got athletes and academics. We've got second language students whose first language isn't even English up there. We've got special ed kids. We've got every culture represented. There's no stigma at our school to get up and actually recite poetry. And again, that's just a testament to our campus culture and everybody contributing to that. So thank you. This is really for everyone. Thank you so much.
And I would just like to say to you that I've experienced that. Sorry I couldn't make it this year, but in the past I have, and I've talked to some of those students after. You are changing lives. Some of them that said, they never thought they could, let alone do poetry, but present it to a packed out audience. And really, you're changing lives, making a huge difference, and that's what it's all about. And I also, secondly, in walkthroughs, have been to I always kind of want to go to see what you're doing, and you make me want to go back to high school and have you as my English teacher. You are so just motivating and just wonderful. So thank you. Thank you. You are more than that hero. Thank you. And
We
moving.
forgot to take our picture while we were here, so come on back.
Oh,
I knew Crystal had a great speech written, so I sat down. I shouldn't have sat down.
I got to show off my little.
There you go.
Where do you want?
You between the two of us.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Yeah.
Thank you.
and now moving forward to the next presentation, and Crystal's husband, who wanted to go first and did not want to be second, Jameson, who is just wonderful himself. He's going to present Lilac School's Employees of the Month, and we are pleased to honor Lawrence Gray, Classified Employee of the Month, and Krista Smith, Certificated Employee of the Month.
All right, so President Stroh, Superintendent McCown, and members of the board, it is my honor to present to you with the Lilac School's Classified and Certificated Employees of the Month. First up is Classified Employee, Mr. Lawrence Gray. It's my pleasure to present Mr. Lawrence Gray with this award this evening for Classified Employee of the Month. Mr. Gray has been a part of the Lilac School community and Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District for 3 years now, since October of 2022. He works as an instructional aide and a duty supervisor, and he's made some amazing relationships along the way. Mr. Gray has an amazing family and would like to thank his parents, Michelle and Steve, who fueled and encouraged him every step of his career, his sister, Caitlin, who's a 5th grader at Lilac School, but believes she's his boss, and his girlfriend of 4 years, Sarah, who has been at his side since the very first day at Lilac and continues to love and support him each and every day. Our school instructional aides and duty supervisors play an important role in making sure our campus students and staff and families are safe. Mr. Gray helps to create a caring and trusting environment where students and teachers get what they need, making it a place they can thrive. It doesn't matter if it's last minute, Mr. Gray is always willing to stop and help a student or a fellow staff member if they need assistance. Mr. Gray is the kind of person any educator would love to work with and can depend on. The entire school staff at Lilac and students are fortunate to work with Mr. Gray because we know he'll always be supported and be by our sides if needed. When I asked Mr. Gray what he loves most about his job, he simply said, if I had to boil it down to one thing I love most about my job, I'd have to say the best feeling in the world is when you know a child can trust you. Trust is defined as a firm belief in the reliability, ability, or strength of someone or something. I feel that these students firmly believe I'll be consistent in my teaching and my character. I love my job, and I love the people I have a privilege of interacting with on a daily basis. The words his colleagues use to describe him are, he has consistently demonstrated unwavering support for the students he serves with both conviction and kindness. Whatever unexpected schedule changes arise, Mr. Lawrence is always ready to step in, often saying, "I got you," as he takes on teaching groups or works with individual students. He goes the extra mile to support students with high needs, even in challenging situations. Dependable and reliable, Lawrence also brings creative ideas throughout feedback during lesson and reflection. Mr. Lawrence, another staff member said, "Mr. Lawrence has grown so much in the time he has been at Lilac. It is amazing to see his ability to handle stressful situations with grace and compassion. He is a great role model to his children." And two other staff members said, "He's learned to connect well with students in both the special education and in the gen ed classroom so well. He is always responding to help when he can, and the students enjoy being around him. He connects very well with not only the students, but the staff members on campus. He is helpful, respectful, sincere, ambitious, kind, and professional." And finally, outstanding dedication and support in the SAI classrooms. He consistently goes above and beyond to assist students with their individualized needs, provides invaluable support to the teachers, and creates a positive, inclusive learning environment. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Lawrence Gray, our Classified Employee of the Month.
So, thank you. Yeah, this makes me more nervous than going to work every day, to be honest. I'll just go ahead and start by saying thank you to my awesome family who's here to support me today. And, you know, every day that I wake up and go to work and just go to do anything, they're here to be there by my side and, you know, encourage me to do my best in everything that I do. And my girlfriend as well, she's been there just like family for 4 years and even more, just always encouraging me to be the best version of myself. And I have some coworkers here today that I've heard great things from and I have the privilege of working with every day. And it's like, when I heard it was a vote, I was like, oh wow, it was really surprising and very honoring to be a part of that. And just to be nominated was a great thing, but to be a recipient is even bigger. And it's just great. I'm at like a loss for words, honestly. And thank you for everyone who was a part of this journey and will be there to see me do greater things. Yeah, thank you.
You have a quarter for you too.
Oh,
So
thank you.
what our coin is we give a coin when someone does above and beyond what their job says. And on the back of that coin, it says, "Until the last moment, until the last child, we serve, we lead, we grow."
Absolutely.
And from what Mr. Reinig has told me and what I've seen of you, you really exemplify that. So
Thank you,
we
sir.
want to thank you for your hard work and dedication to our
Thank you.
kids.
Absolutely.
You bet.
And this is your plaque from, yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll give that back to you. But I want to thank you for having a heart for our students.
Thank you.
Making a difference with our students and just what you communicated here
Yeah.
and what your principal, Reinig, said. Wow.
Thank you.
We are blessed to have you.
Thank
So
you.
thank you
Amazing.
very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody. You're here, Mr. Reinig.
Thank you.
Nice. Is that your brother?
Yes, it is.
Hey, good job.
Thank you.
And now, Certificated Employee of the Month, Mrs. Krista Smith. It is my pleasure to present Mrs. Krista Smith with the award this evening for Certificated Employee Month at Lilac School. This is her first year at Lilac School as a teacher on special assignment, and she's worked for Valley Center-Pauma Unified for 10 years now. 5 of those years have been at Lilac, 3 as a teacher and 2 as a TOSA. She has taught 1st and 2nd grade at Lilac School and 4th and 5th grade at Valley Center Elementary School. She spent 1 year as a district literacy TOSA for Lilac and the elementary school, and now she's a first-year site TOSA at Lilac full-time. Yes, we made it happen, finally. She has also been an ed tech rep, a CTI mentor, a yearbook coordinator, and an SSP coordinator at various times throughout her career. Mrs. Smith's amazing family consists of her husband, Sean, her son, Tristan, a kindergarten student at Lilac. Her daughter, Gwen, is a future Lilac Lizard. As you can tell, she's ready to go. And her mother, Beth, is here, and her father-in-law, Paul. Mrs. Smith's love of teaching, passion, and dedication to her craft is very evident as a Lilactosa. She is extremely bright and always cool, collected, composed, and a true role model for her students and fellow staff. Her philosophy in education is perhaps best captured in her endeavor to be a warm demander. This term comes from Judith Kleinfeld and describes teachers who, in the words of author Lisa Delpit, expect a great deal of their students. So expect a great deal of their students, convince them of their own brilliance, and help them reach their full potential in a disciplined and structured environment. Mrs. Smith is a firm believer that the basis of all great classrooms is a culture of trust and respect, where the students feel seen, safe, and loved. She truly believes that all children are capable of great learning, and the role of the teacher is to set high expectations, provide the support needed for all learners to reach those expectations, and to make sure those learners feel safe, to make mistakes, and they can learn and grow along the way. Mrs. Smith shared with me that what she loves most about her job is the people, along with working in partnerships with amazing teachers, walking alongside our wonderful students as they grow and thrive, and being a part of such an active and involved Lilac community of families. She has the utmost respect from her fellow staff and families. Her colleagues had this to say about her. She works tirelessly around our campus supporting students in all grade levels from TK through 5. She not only runs intervention with our students, but closely works with teachers and supports staff to create meaningful activities daily. Krista goes above and beyond, behind the scenes of our campus, planning events, creating our school yearbook, and running our SSP programs, just to name a few. No matter how busy Krista is, she always makes time to help everyone out if they need it, student or teacher. She also makes our campus a better place to be. Her cheery disposition and kindness brightens our school and makes our days better. Krista always goes above and beyond for others, even when her plate is full. She is always on top of things and does so with a positive attitude. 2 other staff members had to say. The first said, Krista is the jack of all trades. She has taught at many sites in our district, and she is a go-to gal. She always has an answer, even if it's not in her area of training, and she always is willing to help anyone. She pops in classes, reads books, helps teachers with assessments. There's nothing this girl can't do. She is a major asset to the Lilac team, and we're lucky to have her. And finally, another fan of Krista on our staff said, she has been the biggest help since she's arrived at Lilac. I'm glad we have her full time. I love how dedicated she has been to help us support our students in our classroom, and she always checks in to make sure we're doing okay. And I really appreciate that. Thank you, Krista. Please join me in congratulating Mrs. Krista Smith as our Certificated Employee of the Month. I got a present. They were grown in our district, not the artists.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you all so much for being here tonight. I sat down to write this last night next to my husband, and I was explaining that I was nervous and not quite sure what to say, but once I started writing, I guess I had a lot to say. So thanks for hanging in with me. But thank you again for being here tonight, and I'm feeling very honored and humbled and still very surprised about receiving this recognition, but very grateful. And how often do you get the chance in your career to thank everyone who has shaped who you are today. So I'm going to take full advantage of that. So first of all, I wanted to say thank you to the school board and the district for giving me the opportunity to teach in this community and take part in building our educational vision these last 10 years and to continue to grow in my career now as a TOSA. So thank you so much. And you know, I was thinking back on 10 years when I came to Valley Center for my very first interview. I was newly married. My husband was a Marine facing his first ever deployment, and I was very freshly graduated from my teaching credential as a 22-year-old eager to get out into the world. And I had always dreamed of teaching somewhere in North County, and a special place in my heart for our rural North County communities. I grew up in the outskirts of Vista. I applied to Valley Center-Pauma not knowing a lot about the community besides the fact that it had the best pumpkin patch ever that I grew up coming to every single year. But it only took one interview to convince me that it was the perfect fit for me, and I'm really grateful that that feeling was mutual. So even though she's not here tonight, I wanted to say a really special thank you to Stephanie McIntyre. She was the very first hand I shook in that interview. And she was my principal for several years, and she's now my director of curriculum and instruction that I work really closely with as a TOSA, and perhaps has had the greatest hand in shaping my career. So I literally would not be standing here today without her seeing something in that 22-year-old that was really nervous but excited to be there. And she saw something in me, and I'm grateful that she took that chance on me. And she has seen me in every iteration of my career, from a first-year teacher nervous about living up to her expectations, being a new mom with a newborn, a pregnant mom teaching virtually during COVID, a literacy TOSA, and now a sight TOSA. So I'll make sure she gets the video. But thank you, Stephanie, for always believing in me, for challenging me to reach for more, and being my mentor every step of the way. Your support and guidance mean the world to me and have shaped my career in a huge way. I also want to thank my current principal, Jameson. I think we make a great team, and I really appreciate your support this year. I'm grateful to have you as my thought partner, always. And you make me feel seen, heard, trusted, and appreciated as a professional. So thank you so much. You give me a million chances to shine and still room enough to learn and grow along the way. And lilac lizards rock. So. I wanted to thank also my TOSA team, who are some of the brightest and most passionate teachers I have ever worked with. They are always pushing me to question and defend my beliefs in the best way, to open my mind and speak freely and collaborate. Being a TOSA is kind of hard to explain unless you've lived it. I know we've got some former TOSAs back there too, but I'm grateful that I have a team to do it with. I've been served by some truly amazing instructional coaches as a teacher in this district, especially Vanessa Norris, who mentored me as a teacher and a TOSA, and Tammy Stryler, who I'm lucky enough to still get to work with. But I'm honored that I get to carry on their legacy and continue the work, and I hope that I mentor and support other teachers as well as they did for me. So thank you to my TOSA team. And then, speaking of my fellow teachers, thank you so much to my colleagues who nominated me for this honor. To be recognized by your peers is just very meaningful, and I feel very loved. I have worked with some amazing teams at both Lilac and Valley Center Elementary, and I've met my best friends working in the district today, and they're here tonight. And I wouldn't be the educator I am today without getting to see you guys teach your hearts out every single day. So thank you for your support and your shared ideas and your hallway pep talks and the cups of coffee and your friendship. Teaching is not a solo act, it's a team sport, and I'm really lucky to be on the best team ever, and they came with t-shirts, so. And to my family and my loved ones, thank you for being my rocks, for understanding the late nights, the work on the weekends, and the many, many random moments I burst into stories about what happened at school today. Your support is what holds all this up. To my husband, who has graded papers, put up bulletin boards, packed up many classrooms, given presentations to my students, and so much more. Thank you. I love you. To my mom, thank you for being my first teacher and my biggest cheerleader. And thank you to my father-in-law, Paul, without whose daily help and support this version of my life, where I get to go to extra meetings and do PD after hours, simply wouldn't exist or be possible. So thank you. And thank you to my two kids, Tristan and Gwen. Without a doubt, being a mom has made me a better teacher, and you two have been coming to school with me since before you were even born. And it's a dream come true that I get to have Tristan with me at school every day at Lilac, and Gwen soon to follow, and I love being your mama. And thank you last to all 205, I did count, of my students that I've been honored to call my own, and the now 475-ish that I claim at Lilac, including all of those right there. They're the reason I show up every day with a full heart and a cup of coffee ready to take on today, and they have made me a better teacher and a better person and taught me so much about patience and resilience and love. And thank you finally to Valley Center itself. I came for an interview 10 years ago and never really left. I fell in love with the farms outside of the pumpkin patch, the fields, the smell of orange trees when you step outside on a spring morning, and the lilac that's blooming on the hills right now. And we found our forever home in Valley Center. We chose it as the hometown for our kids now, and it's really, truly a dream come true. So thank you, Valley Center, for trusting me with your children. Childhood is so brief and so beautiful, and it's magical to be a part of it for so many kids. So thank you all so much, and thanks for hanging in with me and letting me thank everybody. So thank you all.
We have a coin for you too. I can't believe 10 years into your career, there's a lot left to shine that you're going to do and over the years. So we appreciate and get to watch that.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and here's this for you. Congratulations. And we're blessed to have you. And your heart is just evident with everybody that has impacted you, but you're impacting so many people because of your dedication and going above and beyond for our students. Thank you so much. Gifted to have you.
Just nice, got some flowers.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay.
Ooh, I'll smell
Really, I just want
Ready?
I'll speak to you. Principal Reinig will now present his program titled Spotlight on Student Attendance and Achievement.
All right, well, good evening, President Stroh, Superintendent McCowan, and esteemed board members. Thank you for the opportunity to present this evening. My focus tonight is on the critical connection between student attendance and academic achievement. I extend my sincere gratitude to my dedicated Lilac School students, families, teachers, and staff for their unwavering commitment. Chronic absenteeism isn't just a local concern. It's a national crisis. Millions of our nation's youngsters are missing a substantial portion of the school year. Nationally, 7.5 million students are absent for nearly a month annually. And in some cities, the rate is as high as 1 in 4 students. It's not just confined to the high school, it begins much earlier. This slide shows our Lilac average daily attendance since January. We had a dip in February, month 7, but we're still ahead of our district average overall, which is great, and we celebrate that each and every day. For the entire 23-24 school year, we averaged 92% of our students attending each and every day, and at this point, we're a little under our goal, our site goal of 94%, and we're going to keep up our good work. I encourage daily all my teachers and staff to try to have at least one more student per day, per class attending each and every day of school for the year, because just that would make a huge difference. As a staff, we encourage others to continue to reclaim our students' absences by ensuring we help our families complete independent study work. Now, this next slide, I'm really, really proud of, and I want to thank Mr. Mark Hillwood for sharing it with me. I wasn't quite aware of how much we've been improving, and that's in our chronic absenteeism. This occurs when a student has missed 10% or more of the school year, regardless of whether the absences are excused or unexcused. Chronic absences is a significant warning sign, indicated potentially by academic challenges ahead, even as early as transitional kindergarten. You can see how the Lilac School has improved since the COVID pandemic, something we're very proud of. Why is consistent attendance so critical? Regular school attendance lays the groundwork for essential skills. Data from the California State Department of Education reveals a strong link between early attendance and future academic success. Students with good attendance in kindergarten and first grade are significantly more likely to read proficiently by third grade compared to those who are chronically absent. Specifically, 64% of students with good early attendance reach reading proficiency by third grade, compared to only 41% of chronically absent students. This gap in achievement can have lasting consequences. There are many reasons why students may be chronically absent, including misconceptions about the importance of attendance, barriers like transportation and health issues, and sometimes just a disengagement from the school. But here at Lilac, we have taken proactive steps to address these issues. We've improved attendance by fostering strong partnerships with families, addressing transportation and health needs, and implementing a robust data tracking system and independent study opportunities. Our strategies include consistent communication with families, social-emotional learning, creating a school environment that is engaging and welcoming for all our students. And what you're seeing up here are some different pictures of events that have happened just in the past month at Lilac. Some of the ways we create an engaging environment are through our TPC events, our teacher-parent club events led by parent volunteers, and our TPC hosts monthly STEM lessons, leaf lessons focusing on gardening, and our stellar Fave Art program. Our Lilac TPC strives to build a strong sense of community. In addition, Lilac hosts our Ring in the Bell ceremony every trimester, celebrating students meeting their reading goals, where they run down our courtyard and get to ring the bell. And this year, we opened a Lilac General Store ran by our own student council members, where students have the opportunity to use our character cards that they've earned to buy prizes. Also, we host an annual College and Career Week where guest speakers like Valley Center Fire come and speak to students about the future. And we have conducted 3 out of our 5 Lilac Saturday schools thus far. And that's where we also have an opportunity to promote our mantra through our PBIS work, which is the Lilac Way. We make good decisions, always show respect, and you're a problem solver. Also, probably my favorite picture of the year this far is in the bottom right-hand corner with Mrs. Leah Fry, watching 2 students actively using the buddy bench, which is a place where people either need a friend or can be a friend for others. In addition, Lilac staff makes it a priority to engage with our students and families. If students miss school, our teachers and staff reach out to families to make sure connections and provide a personal touch through a phone call, a text message, an email, newsletter, class dojo, and our Apogee Thrill Share. But I do have to share with you what our secret weapon is at Lilac when it comes to attendance, and that's our front office team. Monica Kuhn, on the left there, who's our part-time attendance clerk, works tirelessly with record-keeping, independent study contracts, and daily attendance. Amanda Duff, in the middle, not only our school nurse, but also assists in attendance needs and record-keeping. But it's these 2 ladies working together with our lead administrative assistant, Christina Torres, where they are able to find and address the root causes of student attendance issues at Lilac because of their collective knowledge of our families. Next, what I'd like to do is share with you 2 students, a quick video on 2 of our students. They're both 5th graders, and what they're saying about Lilac School. Layden, who's going to be in the first video, had 22 absences last year, was chronically absent. This year, he has 8. Belinda, who's the next student you're going to watch and hear from, chronically absent, 21 absences last year, this year, 7. Both are on pace from improving from being absent 12% of the time in a school year to just 4%. Here's what they said. Why did your attendance improve from last year to this year?
I've been less sick and we haven't been going on as many vacations, road trips, and stuff.
All right. What do you like most about school?
I like my teachers and my principal and friends and doing art.
All right. And next up, here's Belinda.
Why did your attendance improve from last year to this year?
Well, my transportation has been getting better, and I have a 3-year-old little brother come here 2 days a week for speech, and I've been getting less sick, and yeah.
All right. Well, what do you like most about school?
Well, I have my friends here. There's a music class, and I love learning about math and language arts. Also, I have a great teacher.
Their teacher's here tonight. Her name's Mrs. Jamie Parker. As we heard, wellness, transportation, and family plans play a key role in student attendance. But we have also heard what their relationships and connections with their teachers also play an important role as well. I can wholeheartedly say that Lilac teachers treat students and families like they would their own children. In addition, we need to fight as educators to find subjects and activities that are engaging for our students at school. And in closing, sorry, Mauricio. He tried. What'd I do, Mauricio? I know, gosh. What'd I do? Help me out. Help me out, Mauricio. There we go. I must have leaned onto it. At least we're here at the end. It's great. And finally, regular school attendance reflects hope, faith, and the capacity to succeed. And working together, we can ensure our students have the opportunity to reach their full potential. And it's not just a site goal at Lilac, it's a district goal to improve our attendance with the hard work through our LPAC work. And we're doing great things at Lilac, and I know each and all the other schools are working super hard on this as well. And just thank you for your time tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you for that
Thanks.
excellent presentation.
Thanks.
Does the board have any? Okay. Excellent. Everything.
Thank you, guys.
Very
Appreciate
good. Keep up.
I love the buddy
Great.
bench. I love the buddy bench.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, we had a couple of our parents, Autumn, who's one of our parents, and Michelle, who's another one of our parents. I said, I just want to make this happen. I want to get a couple buddy benches. We know the research behind them and the impact they make. We have one with the TKK area. We have one with the upper grades 1 through 5. And something that's special about the buddy benches is that when we put them out there on the grounds last year, every student at that time put their thumbprint on it. So they're every student is represented on both benches. So.
Thank
Great,
you.
thank
That's
you.
wonderful. Thank you so much. And at this time, we'll move to the consent. Right here. And we move into request to address the board, and we have not received any requests to address the board, so we'll move on to our consent agenda. And do I have a motion?
President Stroh, I was responsible for reviewing this month's purchase orders. My questions have been addressed. I move to approve the consent agenda, including the updated personnel list.
Okay, thank you. So do I have a second?
I'll second.
And let's vote. Any discussion further on
No.
that? No. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior?
Aye.
Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye. Moving into the superintendent division, our superintendent's report.
Okay, well, we want to thank you guys for staying for a few minutes. I know we got a bunch of youngsters here, but we go over a lot of fun things that we do in the district real quick here in my report. And then after that, we'll give you guys a chance to go home. And if you don't want to stay for the rest of the meeting, if you want to, you're welcome to also. But let's just look at some of the great things that happened this last month. First of all, down at Pauma School, we celebrated our bi-monthly community food pantry. I can't remember, I see Sarah back there, but I think it was about 200 different bags of groceries pretty much were handed out on that day. And we do partner with another organization, Feeding San Diego, for that. So this was kind of the ribbon cutting ceremony. We also had the great pleasure to have Goldie Jacobs come. She is one of the oldest living survivors of the Holocaust, and she came and shared her story with us as a community on a Wednesday night. We had a great crowd of probably about 300 to 350 people. Just a real captivating story. And then she came the next day and did it for our 8th graders at the middle school. We bussed them up here, and then we had our sophomores. And really, this is, we're getting to where the last group of students are going to be able to hear firsthand of the atrocities, and we just don't want to lose that story. And so we were actually, and she approved this, we videotaped it, and then she also has offered to come back every year until she can't. So really neat program, and I think everybody really enjoyed it. Well, enjoyed it, but yet it was pretty tough to listen to, as you can imagine. Our annual Valley Center Art Show, Mr. Hellwood represented us there, and we had, you can see how many art winners were there, and most of them were Valley Center-Pauma Unified School students, and Mark had to pronounce each one of those names correctly, and I heard he did a great job as they gave out the awards. That was housed down at the library, and it is put on by our Community Art Club. And I'm sure you probably had a hand in getting some of those products up there. Thank you very much. The high school here hosted a college and career day last Friday. It was a great day. There was everything from firefighting to sheriffs, the military was here, physical therapist companies were here, just to give kids an insight of careers that they might have. One of the neat things about these careers that they show is some of them you would need to go to college for, and some of them you wouldn't. So it kind of gives every kid an opportunity to go out there and see what they might be interested in. Lilac, here we go, and back to Lilac, hosted their career day. You can see we had the sheriffs there. The firefighters are always a big hit. And boy, it looks like the top there we have some forest rangers with, are those live animals, Jameson, or? Okay. Lilac also had their open house, as most of ours did. Each one of our open house has a different kind of food theme going, and I've enjoyed all of them. This is hamburgers at Lilac School. The primary school, there's their open house. They had food trucks, which, there were some pretty incredible Philly cheesesteaks and these corn dogs that were like 1.5 feet long. But other than that, everybody really enjoyed the night. Parents had a great time. Elementary open house, you can see us there. There's a little footnote on the elementary's open house. We will be having the elementary's 50th anniversary coming here in May. I think it's May 28th, the same day that we'll be doing the honorary mayor. 29th, May 29th. So, but a great night there at the elementary school. And then the Valley Center Middle School prepared their 5th graders coming up. So you can see the 5th graders there. They had a chance to learn everything from the drum line to different clubs you can get involved with. One of the things that I thought was really neat, the 8th graders did a little bit of a rally for them outside, and the ASB president and their vice president spoke at it. I also watched the same 2 students speak at the beginning of the year, and how much maturity they had over that year of how to address, a large group with a microphone, how to act as you're saying. Unbelievable how much growth these 2 students had made. So that was really neat. And of course, those 8th graders will be coming here next year. We also we bought a new van for our CNS. I believe it's an electric van. And so we held an art contest. This was our CNS director's idea, and our student at the middle school won. And so we put the decals on the side of the van, and she got a nice little certificate. She was rewarded very handsomely for her artwork. She has $100 to go out to eat wherever she wants to go. But there was quite a few students that put artwork in, and they had a fun time narrowing it down. We also want to, this year, I mean, our administrative team in our district is just incredible. And we really have a great future in our district. And a lot of that comes from our assistant superintendents. I mean, our assistant, yeah, it does come from Mark. I would agree. He's one of our bright futures. But also our assistant principals. Here we have Alma Hernandez on the far left and Tim on the far right. They're both middle school vice principals, been doing it for a while. And in the middle there, Kenny Vexler and Sheila Lee are brand new in their position and are just really doing a great job serving our students and our faculty. So we want to just give a good shout out to our vice principals. I would say that vice principals is probably the toughest training ground there is. And quite a few of us have done that. It could be also one of the most rewarding. And one last reminder, this Saturday, we will be having our 26th annual Jaguar auction. It is down in the gym. It starts at 5 o'clock. Our board president pretty much runs the Jag auction, her and another gal, Jolynn, that have ran every one of the 26 auctions. We'll have Dave's Hot Chicken there. You pretty much get a meal when you go there. And then there are just all kinds of great auction items. One of the neat things about our high school foundation is each club or sports team on campus that puts items in to be auctioned off. For instance, you may have a table that's for FCA club. Anything on that table that sells is theirs. They get 100% of those proceeds. You might have a table for the golf team. They get 100% of those proceeds. Then they're also selling $10 tickets, and if you buy the ticket from that club, they get 100% of that. So even though the foundation puts it on and does a lot of work, the money is really earned directly to the students' activities. So it is one of the biggest events in town. It will go anywhere between $60,000 to $85,000 in an evening. So if you have time Saturday night and you got some money, we'd love to have you there. And it is a really good dinner too. Yeah. Julie, would you like to add anything?
No, just it's for the whole community, and it's a really fun time. And we try to engage everybody, but every dollar does go to those groups from ag to, we have all different groups participating. So come on down, it'll be great.
And with that, what we would love to do is give our people that came really for the recognitions a chance to go home. And we do appreciate everybody coming tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, and congratulations. Good job. Are moving forward into our superintendent division, and we're going to go resolution 2024-2025-09 to recognize Teacher Appreciation Week, May 5 through 9th, and 2025, the Day of the Teacher, which is May 14th, 2025. Do I have a motion? Motion. Okay, motion made, and a second?
So moved.
And any discussion? Being none, we'll vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Sr.? Aye. Member Worthy? It's on the teacher. I'm sorry. Teacher appreciation. Member Worthy? You vote aye? You vote aye?
Aye.
Okay. Yeah, they're right there looking at you. No. And Member Stowe votes aye. And moving to resolution number 2024-2025-10, and that's recognizing Classified School Employee Week as of May 19th through 2025, and to honor our classified staff. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
And any discussion? Being none. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior? Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye. Thank you. Moving into educational services, the VCPUSD LCAP Planning Educational Partner Input Overview. I now turn it over to our assistant.
So I'm gonna actually
Oh.
start this one for Mark and
Okay.
I. We changed on you in the last minute. It's not you. So Mark and I have made a tour of the district this last month and a half, and we have talked to each one of the staffs, one about the LCAP, but we also talked a little bit about how we form kind of the goals of the district and how that plays into the creed. And I know when we talked about the creed as a school board, some of the direction the school board gave was to make the creed more of a district-wide creed, not just an administrative creed. So now that we have gone out to each one of our staffs, we've had conversations with them, I think we're about ready to do that. And when we say it's a district-wide creed, that's also obviously the creed of the board and we as board members. So what we did is we went around and I talked a little bit about the creed, and I'm not going to go through each piece of it, but where it says, I am an educator of the Valley Center-Pauma School District and a leader in this noble profession. We could plug all kinds of different titles into the idea of educator, administrator, teacher, bus driver, lead custodian, yard duty, board member, because people see us as leaders no matter what the job is. And I love to use the example of Wendy Heredia, who was a great leader at the elementary school, but when my boys were 7 in there, they thought Bill was the principal because Mr. Bill was out at the play yard all the time. And so even, as a custodian, the kids look up to you. And our role in our district is all to serve our schools, to serve our students and to serve our community. And I think as an organization, that's what we do. So when I talk about a creed, it's much different than, say, a mission statement or a vision. And I've never really been high on either one of the two because it kind of says, here's what we want to be. Well, we want to do it right now. We don't want to be this in the future. And when you look at the creed, it's more of a document of action. It's what we do. And I think if we have the actions that we have here, we're going to see that we are the vision of what we want to be. And the tie-in to that in the LCAP is, it's just a natural tie-in because when you look at the LCAP and we're setting goals from the LCFF funding, the chunk that's right above that's the LCAP that serves our most needy students, our unduplicated students. And the things that we do to serve those students really help all of our students. Good learning and supports are the same for every student. And so if our goals in the LCAP match our creed of what we want to be, then that really means we're putting the money where we want it to be, where it serves our students the best. And so what we did with the staffs is we went through this a little bit and we pulled out a couple of pieces of the creed and matched that to our LCAP. So these are the goals of the LCAP, and I'm not going to go into them too deep, but they engaged in learning, actively engaged in learning, feel safe at school. This is what we provide for our students. Every student receives a high-quality instruction leading to academic achievements. The informed community, that's all about communication. We look at the focus target areas, increase students served in a less restrictive environment, increase the percentage of our students that are prepared for success, improve the academic performances, the social climate on our campuses, the student engagement, which, as we heard from Jameson, plays back into that student attendance piece, plays back into what I said last month, where happy students, they're successful students. And so we took those ideas and then we pulled out different phrases from the creed that match those areas. So for instance, serving students and community of Valley Center, the welfare and success of our students, and the very first part of there says that the most important part of our job as leaders is the success and the safety of our students. Continuous learning, current of innovation practices, staying up on the best practices that there are so that we can best educate our children. And that's in the creed, just like it is in our LCAP. The current model ethical and behavior and lead by example, the building of capacity to empower, and that's exactly what our district is. We empower as a board. You empower us as a administrative team to then empower our teachers, who then empower our students. And that continual building of the capacity, and I've said this several different times, but it's the capacity that we build. We relentlessly train our kindergartners to become first graders. We relentlessly train our fifth graders to become sixth graders. And ultimately, over a period from TK all the way to 12, we relentlessly train our children to become functional citizens, no matter what they decide to do after high school. And when we look at the creed and we look at these, they all kind of blend together, and then that leads into our LCAP. Communicate consistently with our community, with our students, with our staff, building those trusting relationships, the courageous conversations. And each one of these, and I'm not going to go through them one by one, but they apply right back into the LCAP. So we're just, trying to make sure that everything aligns. And then the final thing there, until the last moment, until the last child we serve, we lead, we grow. And we've been plastering that on just about everything we have, because we really feel that that's the statement that leads all of our children to success. And we just had a great conversation about our continuation school and the fact that in some of those students, we just can't give up on them, because until the last moment, until that very last child, we need to keep doing everything that's in that creed to make sure that they're successful. So as a board, we are looking at this point of accepting this as our creed. And we're not going to take a vote necessarily, but that because the creed does fall in line with our goals and objectives, falls in line with our LCAP, but more importantly, it falls in line with what we do every day, but it also, there's still a piece that still has to be gained in it. It's not like we're satisfied with where we're at, because every day we have to go back and revisit, are we having the courageous conversations? Are we leading with ethical behavior? Are we really spending to the last moment with the last child with all of our students? So it's not a done deal, but it is something that is of action, and it's something that we need to keep doing. So that was kind of the explanation that we gave our teachers. As a board, I hope that as you see that, you can see that that's hopefully the reason why you want to serve on this board, is because that's what we do and that's what we want to stand for as an organization. So with that, if there's no questions, I'll turn it over to Mark, and he will jump into the LCAP and how it matches.
Excellent. Thank you, Superintendent McCowan, President Stroh, members of the board. So tonight I'll be providing an overview of the engagement of our educational community. Up here you can see a list of some of the ways we engage our community. This is an essential part of the LCAP development and annual update process. The benefits of engaging our community provide us with more access to input, to inform, to identify needs, to plan, to program, and really lead us to kind of more informed decision-making of how we're using the resources, and then are those resources leading to the positive outcomes we want. Here you can see a list of some of those different types of engagement. As Mr. McCowan mentioned, the staff meetings that we've done, parent advisory meetings, the LCAP surveys that are out and have been filled in, and then some of the steps that we have to remain, which is a community input session, which we have next week, where members of the community are invited to come in and speak to us directly, and then student input and climate surveys that will continue. So our surveys are one of the kind of the big collections of information from our community, and have several statements related to each LCAP goal. In the surveys, we ask, when we have these statements, to essentially does staff and families, do they strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree, or are they uncertain related to each statement that we provide? Here you can see for LCAP Goal 1, engagement and learning, we have two examples of statements from our surveys. There are many, many statements, but what I tried to find for you tonight was some of the statements that are very close in language on both our staff surveys and our parent surveys. So here's two. On the top, you can see in blue the percent positive response or the percent strongly agree and agree from this year to date. So these surveys are actually still open, so these numbers could go up and down. And then below that, in the same line, in kind of a gray color, that would be the result from the survey from the previous year. So, we are seeing a lot of positive signs. If we look at just the first statement, actually we'll look at the second. The school is a safe place. We can see that this definitely was an area that we were addressing as a school district, and our admin and our school sites were working on. And we have seen through this feedback in the survey process that is on the increase. Below that, you can see some of the open input and feedback we've collected. This comes through the survey, this comes through the meetings that we've done, and this is just a very small sampling with some of the items that have been repeated in that collection of input and feedback. So you can see some examples. There has been kind of a general statements of very positive about the direction related to safety at our schools, continuing school supervision, and the behavioral interventions that have been put in place. Statements about how the appreciation of clear and consistent expectations for students. Statements related to kind of both continuing but also continuing to grow small group and one-on-one support. And then continued statements about making sure we're targeting our professional development for our staff. And then a lot of statements about continuing extracurricular and extension programs, very similar to what Mr. Reineck was presenting tonight. Just a lot of both our staff and families saying sports, music, arts, kind of technology like STEM programs, tutoring, and more ways to have students have positive interactions both inside and outside of the classroom. So here we have LCAP Goal 2. I won't read each statement, but same as previously, you can see 2 samples from our survey, and then the percent response to date in blue from staff and parents, and then in gray from the previous year. So here we also see some increases, or very similar to last year's responses, and then below you can see the open input and feedback, some sampling of some of the things that did come in. One thing that just to note is this year we did work a lot, and site administrators worked a lot on our intervention efforts. So that was always happy to see when we do something and we receive that feedback back both from staff and parents. That makes me think, okay, something came across, something was going in the right direction. So some appreciation there and some positive feedback, but then also a request to keep growing and keep doing more. Balancing rigor and expectations with the needs of our students. So making sure that although we definitely want to have the highest possible expectations, we're also aware of where our students are at the current time, was kind of some of the feedback we received. Ongoing curriculum and training and support, and then same thing in this one too. A lot of responses about enrichment programs and extracurricular programs, more of an academic side this time. There were comments related to kind of balancing our use of technology in the classroom and device usages. And then one of my favorite things whenever I can see this in a survey, just a lot of positive praise, calling out specific staff members and even administrators that are here in the room tonight. Goal 3, so I'll just kind of leave that up there for you to look at, and I'll just kind of, in a moment, I'll go over the input and feedback. So goal 3 really speaks to the information and that engagement through communication with all aspects of our community, parents, guardians, students, and staff. A lot of positive feedback, really requesting to continue all of the efforts related to the different avenues of communication that we've been doing, newsletters, emails, phone calls, text message translations. The one that I'm working to grow on this one myself, but just really, really appreciating the text messages that are coming from our district and from our school sites. That one was actually very relevant recently and one that was very appreciated. Kind of requests to continue to refine the clarity and communication over academic outcomes. So how are we sharing information related to academics in that classroom, and how are we conveying that to parents at home? And then continuing growth of site assemblies and activities, and then both from our staff and from parents, appreciation of volunteer opportunities. So we had staff who put into their survey how much they appreciated the community coming in and volunteering, and we had parents saying how much they appreciated being able to come and volunteer. So a lot of positives there, and then again that word extracurricular comes up again in goal 3. So looking at our focus goals, so focusing on students with disabilities. So we don't necessarily have as many statements for agree or disagree, but we do have a couple. So one here that's on both of our surveys is related to students who have IEPs and their academic progress. So here you can see those percentages in both areas also have increased from the previous year. And then some of that open input, continuing to support staffing and models like co-teaching, that came from both teachers and staff and parents. Continuing to support behavioral strategies and interventions to keep students in the classroom. Clear and ongoing communication, and then comments related to some of our specialized staffing, really requesting to continue that as a district. For goal 5, which is our focus on college and career, what we have is some of our survey statements are in other goals. So here I pulled one out that relates to goal 5, which is kind of that preparation for college and career readiness. And when we posed this on our survey, we said that this question should be looked at based on the age of your children. So what does that look like for a 3rd grader? What does that look like for an 8th grader? And then what would that look like for a high school student? So here you can see the percentages response there, telling us that we are moving in the right direction, but we definitely want to see some more growth when it comes to how parents are viewing our work. But 83% is definitely a really positive number. Some of the feedback, exposure at all grade levels. There was one that popped out into my mind that I think a parent's comment was, I'd love to see it at TK. Like, what does that look like even at those early grades? And then the industry and work connections, field trips to colleges, field trips to work sites, having that opportunity for students. Continued support of A through G and C to E pathways. That was another area from both staff and parents. These are both avenues that we want to make sure students have access to, both the college-bound and the career-bound. So making sure we're really addressing both areas. And then one that we've seen in the past and an area for us to grow in would be some comments we received related to internship experiences where students can start that transition to the workforce even while they're in high school. Some comments related to soft skill development, and then earlier information and more planning related to that transition from high school into college or careers. Our last focus goal is related to alternative education. So we again kind of posed that there were no direct agree or disagree statements here, but we did pose this to both families and our staff that this isn't just about our alternative education sites. It's also about alternative education models like independent study. So we did receive a lot of feedback both related to our actual alternative sites, but also to some of those alternative models that parents might take advantage of. And so some of the feedback, continuing the high academic standards for alternative programs, clear structures for short-term independent study, continuing tutoring programs for students, continued growth of career-related offerings and transitions. And then again, I always like to note a lot of positives saying, appreciation of those alternative offerings. Again, call outs to administrators, call out to teachers at those alternative sites, saying, just appreciation for meeting those students' unique needs. So that's just an overview, as part of our LCAP process. Here you can see some of the next steps we have ahead of us. So we'll continue to develop a draft of our LCAP for the coming year. The good news is really this model is a refinement and some updates. It's not a redo, but we will continue that consultation throughout our district. Moving into May, where you'll be presented with a draft of our LCAP for the coming year, and in June and July where we have those hearings. At the current time, we're looking to continue our current LCAP goals and then just make some updates as needed based on the California School Dashboard and areas of continuous improvement. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you for that presentation.
One thing I'd like to add, Mark, and I just love seeing that extracurricular piece just kind of splashed all over that, because we really know that our kids that are involved in our extracurricular activities, they're involved with our staff outside of the classroom, how much success that leads to. And we're finding a high percentage of our students are involved in those things, and a high percentage of our teachers are involved in those. So I really believe that's one of the keys to getting this thing all together. So thank you, Mark. Great.
Thank you. A lot of work and great results. It's moving forward, so that's good. Thank you. Okay. English Language Arts Curriculum, TK-6, benchmark. Do I have a motion?
We'll make a motion.
Okay. Motion made and a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Being none, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior?
Aye.
Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye. Department of Rehabilitation Resolution Number 2024-2025-07. Do I have a motion?
We'll make a motion.
Okay, motion made and a second?
I'll second.
Second, and any discussion on that? Okay, being none, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb?
Aye.
Senior? Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye. Moving on to Human Resource Division, Declaration of Need for Fully Qualified Educators. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
A second?
I'll second.
Second. Any discussion? Okay, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior?
Aye.
Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye. Memorandum of Understanding for CSEA Salary Advancement for Experienced Classified Employees. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion and a second?
I'll second.
Second. Any discussion? Being none, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior?
Aye.
Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye.
President Stroh, can I just make a quick comment?
Absolutely.
This is the amendment, or it's an MOU, and it'll be amended into the contract next year, where employees that come with outside experience come into our district. They don't get stuck at step 6 until they have 6 years of experience in our district. They automatically get to start moving over to step 7. Something we did with the teacher's contract about 2 years ago. I did talk to several of the employees who this is going to make a difference in this year, and they really wanted me to convey a thank you to the school board to do this, even though we're not within the negotiation period right now, but because we know this is in the best interest of our staff, and we want to make sure and treat our staff that way. So they had a big thank you to you guys.
Great,
Cool.
great, thank you, because that's the right thing to do. Good, great. Okay, moving on to approval of updated job description, maintenance and operations clerk/print shop operator. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion made and a second.
I'll second.
Second, any discussion? Okay, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior?
Aye.
And Member Worthy?
Aye.
Member Stroh votes aye. Approval of updated job description, bus driver. Wait,
Wait.
hold on. Approval of new, I got it. Approval of new job description, reading and literacy specialist. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Being none, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior?
Aye.
Member Worthy?
Aye.
Member Stroh votes aye. Now, approval of the updated job description, bus driver. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
And a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior?
Aye.
Member Worthy?
Aye.
Member Stroh votes aye. Information disclosure, confidential and supervisory salary schedule. Assistant Superintendent, Superintendent of Human Resources, Craig Weblemo, will give a brief description.
Just a very brief description. So in February, at your February 8th meeting, you approved a 1.17% raise for management as well as supervisory and confidential employees. And as part of that resolution, or board agenda item rather, there were two attachments. There was an attachment with the management salary schedule, a new updated management salary schedule, and there was also supposed to be an attachment with the confidential and supervisory salary schedule, and that was inadvertently left off. So just in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, we added within my section this time the attachment that should have been a part of item 8A back at that meeting, just so it would be out there for the public to see. So that's what this is.
Okay,
you.
thanks for that
Thank you.
explanation and moving forward. And we will move forward. Thank you for that information. Appreciate that. Advanced planning, regular monthly board meeting will be May 8th, 2025 at 6 p.m. VCHS Media.
And we'll also meet at the middle school at 3:30 for our last school tour. So we'll
Okay.
get that out to everybody.
Yeah, we have a meeting like we did today at Pauma. It'll be the middle school at 3:30 before. All right, so adjournment, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second?
And any discussion?
Nope.
No.
No.
Let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Culp Senior?
Aye.
Member Worthy?
Aye.
And Member Stroh votes aye, and it is, what is it, 7:18. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming,